Just a minute.
Kind of live right now.
Ooh.
But
Kind of.
not really.
I don't know what that means.
Everybody's on the wrong video because it can go to the right spot. There's some people here, so you can start saying hi to people.
All right.
Kaya's here.
Hello, Kaya. How are you today? It's awesome to see you. Sorry about our little feed issues. It happens sometimes. I'm glad you came over, though. Who else do we have that's come on over?
Ruby and Leif right here.
Hello, Ruby and Leif. Glad you guys found the right link.
Clara.
Hello, Anna and Clara. Ooh, I hope I get to see an update to the fairy house. Callie! I got your sister's picture. It was very exciting, but I only get it for a little bit because Georgia has fallen in love with it, and she's trying to steal it away already. So tell Carver she did a great job, and Georgia loves her picture. So do I, but apparently Georgia is about to be the new owner of this picture.
She might not be able to hear you.
How awesome is that? I love it. Love it.
It's mine.
All right.
And now it's Georgia's because she loves it so much. Also, we're going to give people a few minutes to come on over because we had a little bit of a feed issue, and that happens sometimes. So we'll just make sure everybody comes over. But if you're hanging out waiting and you want to get your supplies ready, you need some magnets. I've got these like really strong neodydium magnets.
I can't show them the supply list this time.
Oh, perfect. So we're going over it. You need strong ones that have like a metal coating. So those ceramic ones that we use that were black won't work for this project. We need metal ones. You need some batteries. I've got my little stack of unused batteries because we are zooming through batteries really fast. You either need copper tape. Copper tape will work, just a little strip, or some wire that we can strip, whichever one works for you. I'm guessing most people use the copper tape because that's easier. And then you need something like a screw, a nail, like any sort of nail, as long as it like sticks to these magnets. We need that. I personally like these screws because when they stick on, it's really easy to center it on the magnet, and it's like really stable because that screw head comes out, whereas this nail, I mean, there are some nail heads that are nice and thick too. This nail is not like that. It's sort of a little wonky, and it will be harder to center, but it will still work for you. And this one's like a teeny tiny nail. It's a little tack nail for like, I don't even know what this is for. It would not hold up a picture on the wall. But any of those things, that's all we need. We're going to make a motor today. So again, if you just joined us late, we need some really strong metallic magnets. We need a screw or a nail or something that is attracted to those magnets. You need a battery, and then you need either a piece of copper tape or a piece of wire that we can strip. Either or will work just fine. And that's all we need today. We're going to make a motor with just those 4 items, which is pretty cool. And we said hi to a few people. I know other people are coming on over because we had a little technical mishap, which happens sometimes. I'm glad that you guys are finding the right way over here.
We had Kaya here first.
Hello, Kaya, again.
But we also had George and Henry here actually first before my mess up.
Hello, George
Nice
and
job,
Henry.
boys.
Good job. Good
We
job.
have Ruby and Leif.
Hello, Ruby and Leif.
We have Kaya. Wait, no.
Wait, we
Party
have to
girl.
say hi.
I
That
see
is Kaya.
Party. We have
Yeah.
Rohan. Hey,
Hello, Rohan.
We
can't
have
forget Claire and Anna because we're re-going over them.
right. We
And
have
Callie.
Callie and
I don't know if you could hear Callie. We got your letter. Georgia loves it, and she has stolen it from me. So I only got to like sort of enjoy it for breakfast. I'm currently borrowing it.
Oh, you do?
She
So
loves
Carver's on the
Carvers.
screen now, so why don't you tell her?
Hi, Carver. We love your picture. We love it. Georgia loves it so much she's stealing it from me. So, but we love it. It's going to
Thank
be
you.
cherished in our house. Thank you for the fan art. I love it.
We got Johnny Be Good.
Hello, Johnny. How are you?
We have Millie.
Hello, Millie. And probably Lila. It's great to see you ladies today.
And we got Naomi in the house.
Hello, Naomi.
So, guys, we can't do the on-screen instructions and all
okay.
that good stuff.
We have some technical issues today, which is no big deal. So just know that we don't have the on-screen stuff going on today. But we can get through that.
We can get through it.
We'll get through that.
No
big
because
deal.
it's a simple list.
Yeah, it's a simple list. 4 items. Your magnets, a screw or a nail that's attracted to them, a piece of wire or even copper tape, and a battery. That's all you need to do this project. What?
And if you have questions, you can ask me in Zoom. I will be available probably as I try and get this.
As he tries to get it all up and running. All right. So,
all right, so you ready?
yeah, today we are going to make a super simple motor. It's called a homopolar motor. And it is actually the first type of motor that was invented. It was invented in the 1800s. So long time ago, 200 years ago, or 200, well, just about 200 years ago. This motor was invented, and it was kind of an accident that we figured it out. And it was invented as right after people had just discovered the electric field and had just discovered the magnetic field, but they didn't realize that they were actually one and the same. And Faraday, who is the inventor of this homopolar motor that we're going to make today, he sort of realized, he discovered that you could connect the two and make a motor. And before we make this one, it's a super simple motor we'll make. I just wanted to show you guys the inside of the normal motors that you would have in your DC cars. So this is what one of them looks like. And if we open it up, you can see here's where our electricity comes in. So you connect this side to the batteries. And then you have your casing. You can pull this out. There's a case that holds it all together. But there is these black magnets on the inside of that case. On either side, there's these black magnets. And those black magnets will either attract or repel these other little guys right here that are strong magnets. And then there's also, you'll notice, coils of wire. Very similar to the coils of wire that we used yesterday making our electromagnet. And in fact, these coils can choose which direction these magnets are pointing. All right, so these coils depend on if the current goes one way, maybe the magnet points up. And if the current goes the other way, the magnet would point down. And then you either attract or repel on these by whether or not these guys are pointing up or down, which is kind of cool. And then it spins it. And that's how you get the little motor piece, because it comes out on this side. I can get it through there with all the magnets. There we go. And so this all spins inside. And that goes. And so you need the electricity on the inside. You notice the magnets right now are not doing anything. We need those little magnets. The electricity flips the magnets that are attached to this axle to make our shaft spin, which is kind of cool.
So this is what a simple motor looks like?
This is the inside of a simple DC motor. And DC is called direct current motor because when you hook this to a battery, it doesn't alternate. So the current out of your wall is called alternating current. It goes sometimes this way and then sometimes that way and then sometimes this way. So you're actually not moving in your wall. You're not moving charge through anything. You're just sort of jiggling it like this. And the world sees jiggling electrons the same as a current. But you could also make those electrons run through the whole circuit, like run all the way through the pathway, which is what you're doing with direct current. So direct current's like this like really long marathon run, whereas the alternating current out of your wall is sort of just like running downfield and back, like playing a basketball game, more like things are still moving, you still have charge. Yeah, so this is called a DC motor.
Do you know why they are different?
Yes, so the biggest reason why they are different is it would be really hard to take electrons from the coal plant and push them through all of that wire to all of those houses. I mean, like miles and miles and miles and miles and miles of wire you'd have to push it through. It's easier to just push them a little bit and then pull them back and then push them and go this way, like back and forth, because all of our things that we build for like that plug into the wall, we'll take that and use magnets in a very creative way to change it into a current that we can use, either if that's direct current we need, or if we can just use that alternating current to flip things around and spin things like that. So yeah, it's mostly a thing of power loss. Like you would have to add in so much more into your system to push through all of that extra wire instead of just going doop, 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 up and down the basketball court.
Can you tell
It's kinda
people a couple places where they might find magnet electric motors?
Yes, in your house you'll find a lot. So let's think about in our kitchen. We would find electric motors in our blender.
Maybe they can guess. Anybody
Yes.
that guesses where you can find an electric
Yes,
motor?
think about an electric motor in your house.
Anybody-
One of them would be like your blender. That would be an electric motor.
Anything that
Spinning.
spins.
Yeah, what other things in your house spin?
My
Intriguing.
head spins.
Evan's head does spin sometimes. It was spinning earlier when things went wrong,
Mm-hmm.
but it's back on normal. We'll see.
I have
But-
no guesses coming.
No
through.
guesses. Okay,
All
well,
right.
a couple other things like maybe your washing machine or your dryer. Those things spin and need a motor. Your RC car needs a motor. Your dishwasher has a thing that spins inside of it. Lots of things spin. A lot of things need motors that you might not even consider.
What about a regular car?
A regular car does not use the same type of motor. It burns gas.
Alternating?
Like Evan's asking me about car motors. I mean, car motors burn gas. They have pistons that go up and down, and then you've got like things that sort of like almost like, right, like that moves the pieces, which then moves your axle, which then moves your wheel. So it's not an electric motor, unless you have a Tesla.
I think we should get a Tesla.
Evan really wants a Tesla. That would be cool. All right. So we want to make an electric motor. And in this one, we saw that there were some wires, some magnets, something that could spin, and we need a battery. We're going to do the exact same thing. It's kind of cool. We're going to use some wire, either your copper tape or a piece of wire, some magnets. We're going to make something spin. This is going to be our shaft, and a battery. What? We're going to do it. So this is pretty simple. What you're going to do is you're going to take either your screw or your nail or whatever you want to spin. Again, I like the screw because it's got this nice big surface on the top, and that makes it easy to not only get a really good connection here, but to center it because we don't want it to wobble. And you're just going to attach your magnets. I've got 6 of these tiny magnets. Mine are really thin. You might have a thicker magnet. Some of them are even thicker than this. That's totally fine. You can just plop one of them on instead of 6.
So we're attaching magnets to the screw.
So you're going to put magnets on the end of the screw. And that's because we need the magnetic field. Because remember, those electrons from the current that are moving create their own magnetic field. And then we can use this magnetic field to influence that and make it spin. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your battery, choose a side. It doesn't really matter what side you choose, okay? Just choose a side. I might choose this side here. And you're just going to hang it on the bottom of the magnet. Or hang your screw on the bottom of the battery. If it falls off, you might need more magnets. Like if I put one magnet, let's see if it like actually is happy with one magnet. No, it is. It's happy with one magnet. It might not spin as fast. The stronger of a magnet you have and the stronger battery you have will determine how much it spins. All right, but you do want to make sure that if you have something heavier and you try to do this and it falls off, you could add an extra magnet. And I'm going to add some more magnets to this just to make it really strong.
And they want the sharp end of the screw on the battery,
Yes,
right?
you want the sharp end onto, ooh, I broke one of my magnets. You want the sharp end of the screw onto your battery, so not the magnet side, and that's going to let us spin. So there's not much that's touching here, which sort of lets us spin, all right? And now we need some electrons in here. We need to move some electrons. So if you're using copper tape or a wire, you'll just press one side to the other side of the battery. And then this wire is going to go touch the magnets because we got to go through the magnetic field. Although we could just, I mean, you could really touch the screw. So you want to touch it lightly and you'll notice it starts to spin. We made a motor. What? How cool is that?
All right.
Also, you just did like cutting edge science from 200 years ago. Like this was like the best science you could do 200 years ago. So good work, guys. Good work. And sometimes, ooh, I'm seeing it like not as happy this time. Sometimes if you have trouble, one thing you can do, because there is a few little tricks to this motor. Mine worked right off the bat, but yours might not. And you'll notice even mine is, now that I stopped it, is not, oh, it got off to the side, that's why. So if it gets like so that it's off the side of your bubble, it's going to rub on that bubble. These are not strong motors we're making. You could not run a blender with this. So you need to make sure there's very little friction. and then it'll get started. So mine had sort of fallen off the bump and was rubbing, and that was enough right there to make it stop.
So I think that maybe, because I see some in Zoom confused looks on people's faces.
Okay, should we do it again?
Let's start from the beginning and really slowly and really
take this guy off.
Carefully do it again without much of a description. Just
all right. So got my magnets like that. You're gonna put your screw on top of the magnets, just like that. So if you're following along and you're building it right now, oh my gosh, I can't even get it off. You're gonna take your magnets, your screw, just like that. So you're gonna attach them to the thick part of your screw. So your point is still up, all right? And then you're gonna take your battery and you're going to touch it to the tip of the screw. And it should hang, just like that, all right? And then you're just going to connect from the top of your battery onto the metal below your screw. And it will, see if we can find the right spot. Sometimes, and I might have put my magnets on wrong. This is great that it's not working. It's not as happy. If it doesn't work, but you feel like it should, because there's not much that can go wrong here, you're going to take your screw off. You're going to flip your magnets over, and you're going to put it back on. Just like that. It's going to look exactly the same. You're going to put it back to the tip. And then you will hold your copper tape or your wire here. And now mine starts spinning. Just like that. And it can go really fast if you let it hang out there. Again, depending on your battery and your wires, these will get warm. So be really careful about that. You don't want to use super strong batteries. But it can get moving pretty quickly. And you notice that before, when I had these magnets the wrong way, if I flip them over again, it doesn't want to spin. So if yours is not wanting to spin, you're going to want to flip those magnets over. See how, oh, no, now we're going the other way. There we go. There we go. But that is one of the common problems of what you can do to make it work for you. And sometimes you just got to really get it started. See, like even now I'm having a tricky time getting it started. But once I find a spot and once it gets going and has some momentum, there it goes. We're spinning. All right. Another problem you might have, other than flipping the magnets, could be mine had fallen off the bubble, so it was next to the bubble, like this, right? And that then is rubbing against the bubble. So that's going to slow it down and make it so it's not going to work. You could, if you didn't want it to fall off the bubble, just put it on the bottom. It doesn't matter if you chose the top or the bottom. It will work either way. And then you can, again, press your wire into the top piece, and you can get it moving like that. Now, this one's harder because it's a little wobbly. See how it's wobbling? I can fix that by just centering that screw a little bit better on those magnets. So I can do it like that, and then it'll be a little happier. It'll spin a little better. It won't be quite so wobbly. Let's see. I like using a screw because you can see it spin, whereas the nails are a little trickier. I'm going to flip my magnets over.
If you have a big nail, or a big magnet, can you change places with where things are at all?
If you have a big magnet.
So can you put the magnet next to the battery and then hang the nail from the battery, from the underneath?
From the other side?
Yeah.
As long as it goes through. I mean, let's try it. The biggest thing would be we need the magnetic field to be strong enough. So we're going to add some more magnets. So we're talking about this, right?
No, magnet on the other side.
Magnet on the bottom.
Bottom, and then the nail to the magnet.
Down here?
Yes.
So in theory, yes, this would work. But if you look at what I have to spin, it's like it's rubbing. You have all this stuff that can rub, which creates a lot of friction. The thing we want about the screw tip is that it's so small that there's not much friction there. Yeah, I was thinking we might be able to make it go through the battery if we can get the field strong enough, but it doesn't look like we can. Yeah, you need the tip because otherwise you have too much friction. It's going to rub too much and you won't have the amount of push you need to get it started. And then you'll be like, why isn't it working? And it's not working because even though it's trying to push, it's too much uphill pushing for it. It can't do it. Yeah. You really want to have the tip of the screw to reduce that friction. And then again, just press. And this is called a homopolar motor. Oh, we had it going for a second. And sometimes when it does this, I like to look, I mean, I can see it wants to move. It's sort of like shaking. I like to just flip these over, if that's what I'm finding my problem to be. If you have just one, if you have like a really thick one of these, that's even better, because I have to rely on the contact between all those magnets too.
Looks like Micah just got here.
Hi, Micah. Welcome. Join our little, there we go. Join a little party. We got it. We had it going for a second.
So for Callie, can you show her the order of things? So it goes battery.
Yep. So no, it
nail.
goes, take a screw, put the magnets on the screw bottom. So you've got your screw with magnets.
So magnets on the bottom.
Yeah, magnets on the bottom where it's nice and thick. You got
Screw
the
in
pointy
the middle.
tip there. And then you're going to plop it right onto the battery, just like that. So you've got battery, screw, magnets. All right. Those are your three. And then you're going to take your wire from the top of your battery, press it down there, and then down into here. And you can get it started. If it doesn't start, you can try flipping your magnets. That one's not wanting to start. So I'm going to flip my magnets. Just like that. Just take them off, flip them over, put it right back on. And then I'm going to try again. And of course, your battery will die pretty quickly on this, so that could be another thing you might need to replace your battery. Two little sparks. Where did it go? We had it going earlier. Let's get a new battery. All right, we'll do a new battery, see if that one's maybe going out. It doesn't matter which side of the battery you hang this onto either. Either side, as long as you're sort of on the pointy part of your screw. Let's try flipping. Shoop. Just like this. Uh-oh. Where did our motor go, guys? It's just working so beautifully. Get to a new piece of copper tape. Maybe I've done something to my copper tape there. Oh, I see the current going. We're going to flip our battery over. That's the same as flipping your magnet over, to be honest. But why not try? Here we go. And it can be really finicky. There we go.
Can you show the kind of screw really close up that works best for you?
Yes, I can hold this one up right
So
here.
can you describe that screw and why it works well for you?
Yeah, so it's about 1 inch long, so it's short, so it doesn't have a lot of extra weight on it. I like screws better than nails because you can see the screw spinning. You can see these pieces moving up as it spins or down as it spins. And I also like a screw with this. This is the head of the screw. I like it to have a nice big head so that it sort of is easy to center on these magnets. If I used this tiny little tack nail, and I'll show you why I don't like it as much, because you could put that tack nail, it's really hard to keep it in the center of these magnets, right? It's hard to center it. And if it's not centered, you're gonna like wobble, and that's gonna make it harder to make it spin.
Can you show the finishing nail?
And here's another type of nail that you can use, like this guy. And this will totally work. It will still attach to the bottom of your battery. All right, but it's just harder to get it to be centered on those magnets to kill the wobble. And also it's harder to see it when it spins, right? Especially if you're on a video, it might look almost the same to you guys. But it will spin. There it goes. But you notice it's like you can't see it as good just because it's like a straight long pipe spinning, which is why I like the screws. So I like the screws that have this sort of big head that's about the same size as our magnets, has these ridges that we can see the movement, and it's kind of short so that it's not too far away. And then you can just hang it on the bottom of the battery. All right. And then we just connect the two. And you got to be a little finicky sometimes and see if you can get it moving. I can feel it wanting to move, which is kind of cool. And hopefully you guys will get to feel that too. Hopefully you guys will move for you really quickly. Let's see. There we go. I gotta go on this side right here. And if you're pushing your wire in, that can also cause the friction that's enough to stop it. Because these are very weak motors, right? You're making a motor literally just out of a few magnets, a screw, and a battery. With a piece of wire, I guess. But it's not a very strong motor. But it is fun to play with and see how electricity and magnetism interact with each other.
I would like to see the sculptures that people can figure out with this.
Yes. So there's a whole thing of sculptures, but they are really tricky because you have to get them just balanced, where instead of using a screw, you put the magnets on the bottom of the battery and you create a piece of wire that goes from the top to the bottom. But it has to be perfectly balanced because if it starts spinning and then it falls off, then it stops spinning. So that can be really tricky. But they are really cool homopolar motor sculptures that would go like here. You would just like set it on, it touches the bottom.
Maybe you can try making one in Zoom.
Yeah, we could try making one in Zoom. We could definitely try that. And you can even, I mean, see, the problem with putting it is like, look at it. I'm not going to spin the screw. It's going to be really tricky to spin the screw like that, right? I need the current to go through the part that I want to spin. That would be hard. That's why we want to do it this way. As little friction as possible. And that's it. That is how you make a homopolar motor. What? How cool is that? Let's see if we can get this started again. You see the sparks? I saw sparks. Oh, there was some sparks. It was kind of cool. And we will troubleshoot this over in Zoom because it does take, oops, I'm off the thing.
Don't worry, Callie.
It takes a little bit of time to figure out how to do these and how to make them work really nicely. You can even see that I'm having a little bit of trouble with getting it to work even after we had it working. So they can be really tricky. You just got to sort of keep practicing, keep trying different things and making sure you're touching, you're barely touching. You really want it to be like just almost not there. There we go. But see, mine's a little, do you see how it wobbled when it spun and then it sort of brought it off kilter? So you don't want that. All right. So that is our homopolar motor, which is our really quick project for today. Again, just a few items that you need, and we will help you guys over in Zoom if you need it. And then tomorrow, we will end up making some really fun, like moving kinetic LED things. So we'll add some lights to it, and I'm going to make so I'm going to make balloons that sort of float in the sky using magnetism, and then we'll add some lights to it. But you can make whatever you want. If you want to make like a flying dragon, you can do that. So you can start thinking about what you'll make tomorrow in our fun paper circus project. All right, I will say goodbye to our YouTube friends and hello to our Zoom friends so we can troubleshoot and make your guys' homopolar motors work perfectly.
And hopefully we'll have all of the video stuff sorted out for tomorrow.
Yes, hopefully we have video stuff sorted out for tomorrow. Thank you for bearing with us, and I hope you guys have a great afternoon. Goodbye, my friends.
Bye, everybody.
All right.
How do I end